India and Nepal are two very similar but different countries, and they each have their own diverse sets of cultures and ways of doing things. And when it comes to them doing things differently, you can say their militaries have some differences but similarities as well. And for this video, we are looking at the military of these two nations and seeing what is truly amazing about them. And hey everybody, what's going on? I'm Dave Wapla and welcome to FTD Facts, a channel where we generally talk about cultures from all around the world. Now, if you guys like learning about militaries, you like learning about cultures, and not quite getting the opportunity to go to these places, well, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and learn with us every single day because, hey, that's what we do here. Now, keep in mind for our returning boys and girls, now, you guys can leave a comment down there in the comment section below because we take a lot of recommendations from you guys because that's what we love doing. Now, for this video, guys, we give you guys the stats and you guys determine which country is better for you. And also, this is actually a part 2 to our Nepal versus India video. If you guys missed our first one, well, you could hit, this card right up above my head right now if you guys really want to, or you guys could just wait till the end of the video after you get through all the cool military facts. But anyways, let's get started. Let's find out what's great about the militaries of these two nations. So India is one heck of a huge country and it has one heck of an army. Now for its available manpower, it sits at 616 million people with approximately 489,600,000 people fit for service. For its military personnel, it's roughly 4,027,000 people, and active personnel sits at 1,362,500 people with approximately 2,844,000 people in reserves. Now Nepal, it's a little bit different. It's got a smaller bunch of people and it's got a smaller military, but it ain't that bad. Because Nepal has a manpower of roughly 14,600,000 people, with approximately 11,200,000 of them fit for service. And its current military personnel sits at 157,000, with about 95,000 being active personnel and about 62,000 being reserve personnel. And one thing that's great about these two nations and their militaries is that all of their soldiers are based off of a volunteer service. And as a matter of fact, India is the largest volunteer army in the entire world. And as well, for both of these militaries, one has to be at least 18 years old before they even join. So, when it comes to the military, let's break it down because both of these countries do have different divisions of their military. There's like Air Force, there's the actual ground infantry, and all that sort of stuff. Now, for the Air Force, India has approximately 2,102 aircraft strength, with about 676 fighter aircraft, 809 attack aircraft, and out of this fighter strength, about 857 of them are considered transport aircrafts. As for their helicopter strength, it's about 666, with about 16 attack helicopters. Now, Nepal, on the other hand, it doesn't really have much of an air force because, well, first of all, they don't really need it, and second of all, they don't really have the budget for it either, unfortunately. And for their aircraft strength, it sits at 27, with more on order, and out of that 27, about 9 of them are transport craft. And as well, their helicopter strength sits at 18. Also to keep in mind when it comes to their helicopters and their aircraft, they are not really meant for offensive services. For example, helicopters are all based for utility. Now, as for ground forces, India has a lot. For example, they have approximately 4,426 combat tanks. They also have 6,704 armored fighting vehicles and over 7,700 pieces of artillery. Now, Nepal, unfortunately, they don't have this sort of hardware. They don't have tanks, they don't have armored fighting vehicles, and they don't have artillery because, well, first of all, they usually get a lot of these services from India. India provides a lot of this for them. And second of all, they really don't have the budget for it because their budget has been stagnant for years. And of course, when it comes to a navy, Nepal is a landlocked country, so it has no navy assets in use. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're going, okay, well, if Nepal doesn't have much of an air force, if it doesn't have tanks, if it doesn't have any sort of navy, then, well, what's the point of it? Well, one thing that's really good about Nepal is it actually has a lot of friends. For example, India is one really good friend to Nepal, China is another, and even the United States. On top of that, they are supplied by other countries like Russia, Pakistan, Bangladesh, and even North Korea. And what's great about Nepal is they manage to stay pretty neutral and on good terms with countries that actually don't like each other. Now, when I mentioned budget, we should probably take a look at that. For example, India spends about 51 to 55 billion US dollars, ranking 5th in the world. Now, Nepal, like I said, it's remained pretty stagnant through the years, and one thing that they are talking about is actually updating their military, getting things like armored fighting vehicles and tanks, but again, the budget is a little bit of a problem. Because currently, their budget sits at about $207 million US for their military. And I know you're probably like, well, they don't have a lot of budget, so how good can their soldiers be? Well, actually, their soldiers are really amazing. And although countries like India may have special forces units that are world famous like Marcos, the Nepalese Gurkhas are among some of the most well-trained soldiers in the world, if not one of the best. As a matter of fact, they're a military group that still carries their traditional knives. And these are called Kukri knives, which are about 18 inches long. And one thing that's great about the Gurkhas is that they are so well trained that the British and India still recruit them. And currently, there is only about 200 of them in service today. And as a matter of fact, there's a really old saying that if somebody says, well, I'm not afraid of death, they're either lying or they're a Gurkha. As well, one thing that we've never talked about here when we talk about militaries is that these two countries have really cool mottos, with the Indian Army being service before self, and the Nepal Army's motto is it's better to die than be a coward. So that is us guys looking at the military strength of these two great countries, and although Nepal may be a small army, it does have the same amount of spirit and toughness as its big brother India. But other than that, guys, my name is Dave Walpole, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in and learning about two great countries with me here on FTD Facts. Now, if you guys missed our first video and you want to learn more about these two great nations and how they compare, hit this card right up here. Check that out because it's really great information. On top of that, guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out more of our amazing videos. And on top of that, guys, if you want to see more stuff directly from me, hit me up on my own personal channel. I'm down in the description box below. There's a link down there. It's called Picky Nerds, and what I do is I take movies and I take video games and I see how they could be improved. So feel free to check that out. But other than that, guys, thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. So you made it to an end of an FTD Facts video. Well, that's fantastic. Now, before you guys get out of here, check out these two playlists. This is a playlist about Nepal, and what is great about it, we talk about places like Kathmandu, we talk about the country as a whole, and here is our India playlist as well. We've had a lot of videos on this country, so be sure to check them out. Hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.